Welcome to Indo European YouTube channel. Today we have a special session with Hanken School of Economics. Ms. Natalia from the international office and Ms. Rituparna is joining us from Finland. Natalia, thank you so much for joining for the session, and also Ritu, thanks a lot for joining for the session. Stage is all yours, Natalia. Please tell us about.
Yes, hi. Hi on my behalf as well, and I hope you will find this video useful for you. And please remember that we are always ready to answer your questions in case you have any. But I will now tell you more about Hanken and Finland in general. And then after I finish my presentation, our student Rituparna, she is a second year student on the Masters for Economics. So she will tell and share her experience about Hanken in general and what things about studies so far. So now I will start sharing my screen. Yes. Does it work fine?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay. So master's program at Hanken School of Economics. Just a second. So very briefly about studies in Finland and about life in Finland. Maybe there are some facts you don't know about that, but Finland has been for several years in a row being chosen as the happiest country in the world. This is the survey that is held by United Nations. So I think the first time Finland was ranked #1 was about 3 years ago. And since that time, Finland was the happiest country in the world. Also, Finns eat the most ice cream in Europe. It's about 30 kilograms per person per year, and also drink most of coffee in the world, about 9 or 10 kilograms per year per person. So if you like ice cream and coffee, or ice cream or coffee, so Finland is definitely a place for you. Also, Helsinki, which is the capital of Finland, has been ranked 2019 as the best place in the world for work and life balance. So which means that you can both enjoy your free time hobbies, but also pursue career in the chosen area. I think that Rituparna can also then second that when she talks that it's very important for everybody in Finland, and also it's very possible to keep a very good work-life balance. And also Finland is a home of Supercell and Rovio. So if you have ever played a mobile game like Angry Birds or Clash of Clans, so these games were invented here in Finland. Finland is where your Angry Birds come from. So about Hanken, so a brief history. Hanken was founded in 1909, which makes us one of the oldest university-level business schools in the Nordics. It's also one of the oldest universities in Finland. Finland has Hanken has obtained university status in 1927. Sorry? Was it something you said, Deepinder? No? Okay. So university status was obtained in 1927, and the branch unit in Vaasa, which is on the west coast of Finland, was founded in 1980. Hanken is a triple accredited business school. So we have a triple crown, which only 1% of business school in the world have. Since 2015, we are accredited by EQUIS, AMBA, and ASCSB, so all 3 of the top level accreditations. Also, Masters at Hanken is ranked by Financial Times, and it has been ranked by Financial Times since 2016. Also, Hanken ranks particularly high on the citation rate by a multi-rank. So it's like it belongs to the top cited publications in the world, as well as on the international joint publications. So as I said, Hanken is located in 2 locations in Finland, but it's 1 university. So, and it's possible to study for the master's program both in Helsinki and Vaasa. So very brief facts about Helsinki. As you maybe know, it's the capital of Finland. Very clean and safe city. It's a comfortable living. Nature is very integrated with the city. Good transportations and reduced fees for the students. Affordable student housing, and also very vibrant social scene for students. There are 3 universities and several polytechnics located in the area, which makes that you get connected to not only to your peer students at Hanken, but also via the student unions and where students, events with the students from our universities and polytechnics. Vasa is located, as I said, on the western coast of Finland. It's the second largest student city in the country. Statistically there, every 5th person in Vasa is a student. It's an energy capital of North and with a vibrant energy industry. And also Vasa is a very affordable student place and student city in terms of housing and other student reduced fees. So about Hanken Masters program. Hanken Masters program is a 2-year program that is taught completely in English. And there are 4 possible specializations you may choose from the portfolio we offer for students. So we have a business and management specialization, which is both taught in Helsinki and in Vasa. So in Helsinki, the following tracks are taught: humanitarian logistics, marketing, international strategy and sustainability, and marketing and management. It's a new track within this specialization. The study location for that track is in Vasa. Also, we have a specialization in economics. So, for example, Rituparna here today with us is a student on economics. We have a specialization in financial analysis and business development with the tracks of finance, accounting, governance, and commercial law. And also we have quite a unique program which offer a mix of both business and law studies such as intellectual property law. So a few words about the tracks and maybe specializations, how they differ from each other, and about the application. So for example, you as a student or an applicant may apply for 1 specialization but to 3 different tracks. And then once you apply, you need to rank them in order of your preferability. So for example, let's say if you're applying for the financial analysis and business development, and you may at the same time apply for all 3 specializations, but you, for example, choose governance and commercial law as your first specialization, as your first track of choice, then you choose accounting, and then you choose finance. So your application will be evaluated in that particular order as well. But you, for example, as an applicant cannot apply both for the business and management and for the financial analysis and business development. So you need to choose a specialization, and then within, if the specialization has several tracks, then you need to prioritize your choice within the 1 specialization. So let's talk a bit about the general admission and about the requirements that you need to have. So now, last week on Monday, on the 2nd of November, our main admission round has started, and it will last until the 15th of January next year. So in order to be able to apply for this within this specialization rounds, you need to have a bachelor's or master's degree from a recognized university or polytechnic. And I know that in India you have different types of bachelors that are taught in different on different number of years. So the general requirement for that, or the general rule for that, for example, if your bachelor degree allows you to apply for the master's program in India, then it's also good enough to apply for the master's degree in Finland. But for example, if in India you would have to take some other additional education or some other additional courses, then you cannot apply for the master's degree in Finland. If you have questions about that, then just please do let us know, or maybe do Peter and his colleagues know, so we will take a look at your case specifically as well. The second requirement is that you need to fulfill a language requirement, and in order to prove that your ability to study in English, you can do that either by your bachelor's or master's degree that were obtained in the traditionally English-speaking countries such as Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, or the United States, Or you may take a language proficiency test, and Hanken accepts almost all the tests in English. So if you, for example, choose to take TOEFL, then you need to obtain the result of minimum 92. If it's IELTS, then you need to obtain at least the result of 6.5. PTE academic is 62 or more, and C2 proficiency, and C1 advanced. So as you can see that we are very flexible in English tests, that you may choose the one that you are more familiar with and more comfortable taking. Then you need to have a bachelor or master's degree that would at least cover 30 credits in the subject's relevance for the program or specialization or track. So for example, let's say if you're applying for the economics track or economic specialization, then you need to have at least 30 credits in the economics. Or for example, if you're applying for the marketing track in business and management, you need to have at least 30 credits within marketing, and so on. Then we have a GMAT and GRE admission test or GPA requirement. So most likely, most of you will belong to group 2. We have divided our applicants in 2 groups. So you most likely belong, as I said, to group 2 because you have obtained the bachelor or master's degree in a country outside of European Union. So you will need to take a GMAT test, have a minimum overall skill test results of 550. Or if, for example, you are more familiar with the structure of GRE exam, you also may choose to take that one. But then you will need to have following test results in quantitative reasoning and verbal reasoning, at least 150 each, and also in analytical writing, at least 3.5. And also you will need to fill out the motivational questionnaire and attach your CV, but it's not something that you need to be very stressed about because it's an integrated part of the application. As I said, that was the general admission that is going now until the 15th of January. But there, for the international students, Hanken has developed one more system of application to the master's program. So it's called rolling admission, and it's only open for the business and management. So for the specializations such as marketing, humanitarian logistics, and international strategy and sustainability, and marketing and management in Vasa. So for that one, you will need to have a bachelor from a recognized university. For the rolling admission, if you have a master's degree, that will not qualify you in that sense. You will need to have a bachelor's. You will also need to have a language requirement, and the language requirements are the same. So you will need to have at least IELTS 6.5 or TOEFL 92, and also PTE academic a minimum of 62. All other tests would also qualify. Here is all the test results that we do admit. So you also, for the rolling admission, you may take any test of your choice. So you will need to have at least 60 credits in the subject's relevance for the program and specialization. You will need to take a GMAT test as well. And for the rolling admission, you will need to have at least 600 in the result, or you also may take a GRE test because if it's something that you're more familiar with, but there the test score results should be also a bit higher. So it will need to be 160, 160, and 3.5. Also, it's worth mentioning that students from partner universities with GPA B+ do not need to take a GMAT or GRE test. The same rule applies also for the main admission round. So for example, if you are coming from a partner school in India and your GPA is B or B+ and higher, then you don't need to take a GMAT or GRE test. So for the moment, oh, I'm sorry, this is from the old presentation, but I don't, yeah. But in India, we are a partner university for Hanken is the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So for example, if you're having a bachelor's or master's degree there, then you're more than welcome to apply during both now and then during the rolling admission. And of course, all other students are also welcome to apply to Hanken, but students from this particular university don't need to take a GMAT or GRE test in case their GPA is B or B plus and higher. So some words about fees and funding. So the fee for non-EU or non-European students is 12,500 per year. So the program is for 2 years. So in total, you will need to have to secure 25,000 for tuition fees and also then 650 per month for the covering your living expenses. But Hanken, of course, also offers the scholarships, and the scholarship system is quite transparent, and the application for the scholarship is an integrated part of your master's application. So you will apply for the scholarship at the same time as you apply for the master's, and also once you've been admitted to Hanken, you will also know right away if you have been offered or not offered a scholarship. The scholarships at Hanken are merit-based, so they are all awarded based on the application academic excellence in the previous studies and the applicable test score results. So there are 3 types of scholarships offered at Hanken. Hanken Premium Scholarship that would cover your tuition fees and also your living expenses through the year. Also, we have a Hanken Honorary Scholarship that would cover your tuition fees, but you will need to cover your living expenses on your own. Hanken also offers the support scholarship that would cover 50% of your tuition fee. Also, within the Global Business School Network, Hanken offers a scholarship opportunity for the member schools. So, for example, if you are a student or an alumni from the following universities, I can also then share the link and this information closer with Deepinder and his colleagues, so you may consult with them. But in case you're coming from one of these universities, for example, from Indian School of Business or from Goa Institute of Management, you will have an opportunity to apply for the scholarship, for the premium scholarship within the Global Business School Network. And as said before, global scholarship is, the premium scholarship is covering your both studies and also living expenses. I think that was, yeah, the application period is now open. So in case you want to apply already right away, you may do it already now. If you have any questions, you are welcome to contact us directly or contact us via Deepinder, so we can take on your closer look on your case and on your bachelor's diploma, your master's diploma, or your test results, so we can see together if it's possible for you to apply to Hanken. I will now stop sharing my screen and give a word to Rituparna. She is, as said, a second-year student at Hanken. So she, I think, knows a lot about studies and knows a lot about being an international student here in Finland. So I think her input is very, very valuable. So I'm now stop sharing. Rituparna.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Deepinder. Yes, I applied to Hanken last year. I joined Hanken last year in August, and now I'm in my second year. I'm studying my master's in economics and business administration, and my specialization is economics. Regarding the application process, which I did in 2018, October, I started in October because that's the time you start applying. Hanken's deadline was early. It was 15th of January. It was I had to submit my GRE, like Natalia already mentioned, all those documents, and I also had to send my official transcript signed physically. So I had to post it to Hanken. That is one additional requirement which I remember Hanken had. After that, I received my results in mid-March, and I had got the premium scholarship from Hanken, and I was very happy for that because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted full scholarship. It included my living expenses as well as the tuition fees. And the reason why I applied to Hanken in the first place was I was looking for very good business schools which were offering full scholarship. So as I said, I wanted to go abroad only with full scholarship because it was not possible for me to pay that much in a European school and pay for my living expenses as well. So I was looking for good universities. Of course, I did apply to some famous universities like London School of Economics and such. I did receive offers from them, but they were not. They were only partial scholarships, and I was overjoyed when I got the offer from Hanken because Hanken was one of the best business schools in Finland. It is very reputed, and on top of that, I could also. It is also part of the GSE, which is Graduate School of Economics. So what this means is that I can also take courses from Aalto University and University of Helsinki. And these three schools, Hanken, Aalto, and University of Helsinki, they are the top three in Helsinki, and they offer a wide range of courses in economics. So it was like I was getting the best of all worlds. And then I chose to come to Hanken, and I applied for my visa, and I arrived here in August. And this was the first time I was traveling abroad from India. I had never gone outside India, and I was very skeptical about how I would settle and what kind of problems I could face being an Indian. And when I reached here, in fact, as far as I remember, everything went very smoothly. My seniors, the master's committee, they held this welcome for us, and I asked a lot of questions naturally, and they were very helpful, and they guided me and told me everything or answered all my questions. I had a lot of them. And then we also had our orientation program just a few days after I arrived in Finland, and everything went very smoothly. Here, after I came, there were a few things which I had to do. I had to apply for the okay, I don't remember the Finnish word, but basically you have to register yourself in the population registrar of Finland, and that is one form that you have to fill. Apart from that, you have to get a transport card in order to use the public transport, and you get a student discount. So we pay half of what a non-student would pay in Finland. And yeah, those were a few things. These are the living scenarios. Yes, and of course, you should apply to HOAS housing apartments. I got a really cheap apartment in Helsinki, and I was very grateful for that. And of course, Hanken also has its own housing. You can also apply through that. And yeah, now talking about the academics in Hanken, the courses offered in Hanken are of very good quality. The professors are, of course, top notch. I really liked the way they were teaching. it was very easy to approach the professors because the classroom size was very small, and it was very easy to talk to them even during the class, after the class, whenever we wanted. And one very good thing was that you could just email them, and they would reply immediately as soon as they had time, and they were very quick to respond and very helpful. And in one semester, which goes on for 4.5 months, you have to complete 30 credits. It's not a compulsion, but it is recommended that you complete 30 credits. And since I received the premium scholarship, it was compulsory for me to complete the 30 credits, because there are checkpoints, and they check in each semester as to if I had completed 30 credits, will they give me the next installment of my scholarship. So, and that was not difficult, especially in the first year, for the first 2 semesters, because the courses are well organized, and you can also take courses from Aalto and University of Helsinki, and you can time your courses as per your requirements. So it was not difficult at all. And yes, and now I'm in the process of writing my master's thesis, and I'm hoping to graduate next year in August. I'm also applying for PhD positions and research positions after my master's for next year, and I hope that goes well.
Great, Ritu. Thank you so much for sharing this, your experience. I think that matters a lot, because a lot of students, want to hear your side, because I think feedback is always a student feedback. So thank you for sharing this information. Natalia, I have a few questions on behalf of students. They will be very practical questions, which we I have a few questions for you and for few for Ritu as both. I'll ask the Ritu because she just finished her sharing her experience. Ritu, very specifically, you said that I was looking forward to go abroad with a full scholarship, right? And I understand every institution have a limited amount of scholarships. That's why the paid institution or the charge tuition fee and a small amount goes to scholarship. Now, let's say this way, in case you, as a student from India, would you see that a person doesn't getting a scholarship at all, completely no scholarship? Do you think it's worth coming to Hanken and pay the tuition fee of 12,500 euros? If you, what do you comment on that?
Yeah, I think that it's a very valid and good question in that sense, because once you go abroad and study and pay for the full tuition fee, you see it also as an investment. And also, of course, once you graduate, you need to have a return of investment, so your education is fully paid off. And I can assure you that it's worth coming here, because Hanken as an institution, as a university, makes our best to integrate the non-Finnish and international students into the Finnish life and into the Finnish business networks, in order to secure both the internships and traineeship during the studies, for example, between the first and second year of master's program, and also through the and also then after the graduation, to secure that the alumni and the graduate will have a job offer. And actually, this is something that Hanken really excels in and also is proud of, that and our career services surveys show that 96% of our graduates have a job offer within the 6 months after graduation. So Hanken gives you a good platform in order to build your network in Finland and also abroad. So you will know people, you will have your own network, and you will be able to find a job. And then, of course, there is something that can make that you will return the money that you have spent for the tuition fees.
Great. Ritu, what is your say on this?
My financial position was not such that I could even afford to come outside without getting at least a 90% scholarship, which is why I was not even applying to those universities which were not giving 100% scholarship. But had that not been my position, I would say yes, Hanken's career services and after graduation recruitment, as in people get jobs very fast and in their own fields. I have seen the numbers, and although I'm not applying for a job after my master's, but I have seen people getting their jobs even 6 months before they are graduating. So it's worth it, I think, especially since the tuition fees of Hanken is not that high. It's 12,500, and if you compare that to other universities in Europe, it's pretty low. So I would say yes, if you do have the money, then go for it.
I think this was the point when you were when Natalia, you were running the slide and I saw 12,500. Of course, I remember that, but when again the figures came up, and I was just thinking in my mind when you were doing your presentation, this is the tuition fee of any university in Europe, in Germany, in Sweden, in Denmark. You pick up any university. I'm not talking about top-notch university. I'm not talking about triple crown accreditation. Any university, you pick it up, it starts from 10 to 12 rands. Whereas when we say Hanken, Helsinki, and 3 crowns in accreditation, triple accreditation, the whole thing becomes very, a kind of an opportunity. And I'm not saying students because to brag about the Hanken, because I represent Hanken. Honestly, if you really go on the website, or also to my website, my partner institutions in Germany, in Sweden, every university starts with the master's program in these countries, the well-developed country we talk about, starts from 10 to 12 grants per year tuition fee. Whereas, and those partner universities are also not triple crown. As we said, there are very handful of institutes in the world which have triple accreditation. So it's very, very important for you to understand that there's a lot of university available, a lot of options available, but only few institutions get these kind of accreditations, and they really matters a lot. And it's very difficult to get triple crown accreditation for any institution. You really have to have a very strong benchmark. Your bars have to be always up. Natalia, I'm sure you will agree with me on this part.
Yeah, sure, and it's totally true what you're saying. That I think that like a general cost of masters in Europe is something from starting from 10,000, depending on the country and depending on the university. So I think that for Hanken, it's like a very modest pricing, because like in that sense, when we talk also about our accreditations and about the reputation, not only in Finland but also all over the world. So in that sense, it's a very, very good investment. And also Hanken is a very small university, as also Rituparna was telling, that the distance between students and professors is a very small, and everybody is on the first name basis. So for like unlike other bigger universities also in Europe, here each professor knows every student in the class, and if you have any questions, if you need any support that goes outside the classroom, then it's Hanken is a place where you can get that. So.
Okay. And you mentioned that if you come from the partner institutes, GRE, GMAT is waived off, and I can see IIFT is the only partner. So let's say if somebody has very good, GPA, but they do not have GMAT or GRE, will there be any exception given to a certain student, or there is no exception at all? There is no room.
Well, so if this student is coming from the partner university, then if he is, so in India, it's the Indian Institution of Foreign Trade in New Delhi. So if the student is coming from there, then, and also if the GPA is B and higher, then the person is waived the GMAT requirement, so he or she may apply on the basis of the GPA.
Okay, but the students from the open market, the ones who do not come from your partner institute, what about them? Is there any exception for students who doesn't have GPA, GMAT for any? Is there any room? No. So they have to have it. Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, and we also, and students who have done their education in English language, previous education, but in India, it was said very clearly on your slide that no other country is included. So a lot of students.
Yes.
Right? So even if the student education is in English language, you still require an IELTS of 6.5.
Yes, that is correct. So if the student has a degree in India, but in English language, then he or she still needs to have a the e-language proficiency test.
Great. When we talk about students' job opportunities in Finland itself, because looking at Scandinavian market, I would say Finland is quite welcoming to immigrants when it comes to the job ratio. As I read an article a couple of years back, the foreign minister has confirmed that 50% of the IT workforce in Finland belongs to, they come from India. This is the reason why they have cut short the visa processing time also for the Indian applicant for the work permit in IT sector. So this means that is a huge pool of Indians living in Finland. And a lot of people I have seen in last couple of years in recruitment that when it comes to Finland, they are very much, they are very inclined towards going to Finland. Is it easier to get job exactly in Finland? I'm not, because I know that of course the European market is open, but does Finland have such a big room to adjust so many people from different industries within the Finland itself?
Well, Finland is a very small country, and it's also a country with many possibilities on the job market. So the people already living in Finland will not possibly, fill all the gaps in the market. So Finland is actually welcoming the labor migration. So for example, Finland is open for the students to come to first study and then start to work. So, and also the universities are very taken a responsibility on integrating the international students into the business life. So it's I wouldn't say that it's like very easy, but it's possible, and the market is open, and it's getting more and open with each year because the industries change. There are new, now in 2020 we have jobs we didn't have in 2015, for example, and for that there are and these job placements, they need to be filled, and so there is a demand for the new specialists and for the newcomers to the job market. So there is definitely a place for everybody, I would say. Finland is a very small country, and though it's dark in the winter, but it's open and quite welcoming, I would say. You just also need to be like, if you're an international student, and maybe Rituparna will second me on that, that if you're coming from outside Finland, you also need to be active and put yourself out there, and not to wait that the opportunity will come for you, but you also need to be very open to all the opportunities that your university, like for example, Hanken offers to you. You also need to keep your eyes open to what other things for students are, for example, going on in Helsinki. So you also need to go there and see if there is an opportunity for you. But there is definitely, I would say, an opportunity for everybody. So, but maybe Rituparna, you can also tell me and tell the listeners your take on that.
Yes, there's this club in Hanken called Hanken Invest. So that is one really good club. I have joined its Facebook page, and it keeps giving me opportunities for internships as well as job opportunities, especially for English speaking people. And it's great because the opportunities are worthwhile, and I'm applying for those, and that is helping me a lot. And yes, as Natalia said, it's not cakewalk, especially for English speaking students, to just find a job, and it's not cakewalk anywhere, even in the UK where the language is English. It's even more difficult over there. But yes, of course, you have to be proactive, keep looking for jobs, keep applying, and just put your best foot forward. It's not easy, but it's not too difficult either.
Right. Before we bring the session to the end, Nalia, I have one more question. You mentioned if a student qualified for his masters in India, he qualified for his masters in Finland. A very simple rule. I think that makes a lot of things very easy. But still, do you have any GPA minimum requirement that students should look at? So let's say they should have minimum this much of GPA in their bachelor's, and then only they should apply. I'm talking about a grade of 10. So out of 10, do you have any number? That below this, do not even apply for the application.
Well, yes, of course, you will need to have quite high GPA if you want to apply to Hanken, because it's a very competitive school in that sense, and each year for the master's program we receive over 600 applications, and we only offer about like 110 places. So you need to be very aware of that, and very aware of the challenge in getting in. So the better you have performed and the better your, for example, GMAT or GRE score is, the higher your chances are to be able to get admitted. And also, if you're somebody who would like to have a scholarship, then of course you need to be very aware that your previous academic performance needs to be really high.
So if I say out of grade of 10, you should have 7 to apply for Hanken for the admission. Will I be?
Yeah. Well, from I think B is something about 7, start 7 and upwards.
So student, if you have 6 or below 6, I would recommend not to apply for Hanken, because Hanken, if you see, it's a triple crown accreditation school having 6 in the application, only 120 seats. So please consider that the university doesn't have any entrance examination like IIT or IIM in India, but that doesn't mean that the applicants of any GPA will be accepted. So if you are because top schools always look for top students. That's also, of course, there's a tuition fee, but and as I said, the tuition fee is not too high. But at the same time, it's very important that students understand the basic requirements. So if you have 7 out of 10, 70% marks in your bachelor degree program, this is where the Hanken starts. I'm not saying it at the 70% you're going to get the admission, but there is a chance depending upon the program to program. And I'm sure some program will be much more difficult, even if it goes up to 80-85% marks you should have. But depending upon the number of applications, doesn't matter how many application comes or not, but 70% is what we're looking at. So let's make a benchmark 70%. In case you have 70% marks, you're happy to give the GRE GMAT in the coming few weeks, as 15th January is going to be the deadline. So please contact us and we'll be happy to help you with all the paperwork. There is another video which I just made about the visa requirement for Finland and the life in Finland. I'm going to put my link in the description box. You can have a look on the that video as well. That will give you more practical information in Finland for your permanent residency, for your visa point of view, and we can have much more information. Natalia, thank you so much for joining us in this session, and Ritu, thank you so much to you as well. And I hope you both stay safe and healthy, and looking forward to see you very soon physically as well.
Yes, see you. Yeah, and let us know if you have any further questions.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes, goodbye.
Bye.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.